New swing to the Pros Golf Club. What we're going to talk about today. So over the next few weeks, or over the next forthcoming weeks, I'm going to obviously do a beginner guide into golf, into setup, backswing, follow through, and all different types, how to hit driver, how to hit irons, how they differ from driver to an iron. But what I'm going to get into today is how setup influences driver and how the setup influences the iron swing. So two different comparisons we've got here. Driver. Obviously, when we're hitting driver, we need to establish that the driver creates a lot of speed compared to the iron, where there's a bit more efficiency, a bit more control there, okay? So, first thing I'm going to just relate to is, what we're going to encompass is understanding how the driver, so the driver it's the longest club in the bag, so effectively that's going to make us swing with the most speed, okay? With the most speed creates the most errors, okay? So, when we swing with a lot of club head speed, then we have to be able to control that. But what happens sometimes, because we've got quite a less loft on the driver, the more speed that we try and apply into the golf ball with the club, then the more chance of a non-centre strike, which creates a lot of curvature. But anyway, what I'm going to talk about is how they differ. So the driver, what we're going to talk about is driver. So that when we're hitting driver, we want to have this upward action where we're almost brushing the top of the tee, so we're not hitting down it as opposed to the iron. So if I was to set up into a position, okay, so the driver is the longest club in the bag, okay, so we need to set up accordingly with that. So obviously the driver, because we are clubs longer, that makes us have quite a shallow angle approach, and it creates a more rounded swing plane, okay. So if I was to get into correct position, okay, as you can see, my hands are more away from my body. The ball position should be inside my left heel. That allows us to almost get the club to bottom out before the golf ball and hit the ball on the rise, okay? So we create some shoulder tilt. So if I was to create some shoulder tilt, left shoulder higher than right shoulder, I need to maintain that tilt all the way through the golf swing, okay? So a lot of guys that hit driver, they'll try and hit down on the ball, but in hindsight, if you tee the ball up, down lower, that's going to make you hit the ball with a steep angle attack, so cutting more across it, and that's where your brand new driver is going to turn into a second hand driver and just one shot with that sky mark, okay? So it's important that you need to tee the ball up a little bit higher to get that upward strike, okay? So with the iron, so it's completely opposite with the iron, okay? With the iron, it's more about control. So if I was to say more about control, it's having the ability to understand your strengths and weaknesses. So if I was to talk about control, it's having the ability to differentiate from a longer shot to a shorter shot, understanding your ball flight, so you can dictate the length of your swing to hit the correct shot, okay? So if I was to talk about an iron, okay, with the iron obviously, we want to have the ball position more for the banter stance, okay? But what a lot of people try and do with the iron is they try and hit the iron as if they're hitting the driver, try and hit up on it, and hit the driver, sorry, as if they're hitting an iron, hit down it, okay? So as we're hitting an iron, okay, the ball needs to go further back in stance, but because the club's shorter, that pushes it a little bit closer to the golf ball, and that you get a little bit, your hands are a little bit higher, okay? So your hands are a little bit higher, that creates a steeper angle of approach into the golf ball. I won't go into too much detail about that, okay? But when we're hitting this club, we need to understand that we need to compress the golf club into the ground so the ball can travel up the club face, and then we can create that desired direction towards target, okay? So obviously with shorter club, the less speed that we're going to have as opposed to driver, okay? So hit down with the iron, hit up with the driver. I'm going to cover it over the next few weeks. I'm going to cover all aspects of the golf swing, okay? So the first thing I'm going to talk about is obviously talk about driver, but I get a lot of phrases sometimes saying, "Oh, you're hitting the ball far too hard." I would say there's no such thing as hitting the ball too hard. You can hit it as hard as you want, as long as you're in control of your own swing, okay? So there can be a lot of danger when you hit the ball too soft. So if you're hitting the ball too soft, that creates a lot of errors. The strike can be off. So if we hit the swing slower, our body has to adapt to that by travelling a lot slower. So speed is a good thing if you're under pressure. Speed creates you to fully release the club and create gravity, create momentum towards the target, okay? But the minute you start hitting the ball a lot softer, that's when you're going to create a lot of, you're basically going to get tentative over the shot, you're going to create a lot of anxiety through your swing. So it's important to hit the ball hard. You can hit the ball as hard as you like, as long as you're in control of what you're doing, okay? So what we need to understand is, so if I was to get into a position where I was to control that, so obviously we're hitting it up at the driver, we want to tee the ball a little bit higher to try and obviously miss the ground and try and get the club to bottom it before the golf ball, as opposed to the iron where, so we need to understand that the club bottoms out early with the driver, as opposed to the iron bottoms out a little bit later. So if you were to look at the back of your divot, always look at the back of your divot and how the club is entering the ground. Okay, so if you've got any thoughts on that video, so it's important to understand how to hit driver and how to hit the iron. Okay, so hit down with the iron, hit up with the driver. Okay, so support. This club is for power and accuracy, so if we have a longer club, it's going to create more swing speed, which runs in tandem with, again, you need to understand how to control that if you're erratic sometimes. Okay, so if you've got any thoughts on the video, any other topics you want me to discuss, comment below and I'll get to you as soon as possible. And if you find my tips helpful, subscribe to my channel. So if you click the link below, there should be a little bubble up here soon. If you tap that, subscribe to my channel, free content, and thank you for listening.